Security contributor, Lieutenant General Richard Newton. He served as the U.S. Air Force Assistant Vice Chief of Staff. We cannot overstate the complexity of this war right now and Israel's front ahead of this ground offensive. We've got the Stryker group now in the East Mediterranean Sea. Talk about the U.S.'s role at this moment.
Well, good morning, Marni. It's a very complex, chaotic situation, certainly on the ground. In and around Gaza Strip, and certainly as the Israeli Defense Forces prepare for a ground invasion, which I think is imminent within the next several hours. But nonetheless, the United States has already dispatched, and on site is the USS Gerald Ford and its carrier strike group. They've been there for several days. It's the most modern, most advanced carrier in the world. And so that said, we are in a position right now of being on scene. The USS Eisenhower has been tasked to move forward into the vicinity of the Gerald Ford. They'll be there by the end of October. They bring also several warships with them, very advanced capabilities. And so nonetheless, a lot of firepower will be there. The United States Air Force also has dispatched F-35 stealth fighters, F-15E Strike Eagles, and F-16s and A-10s. And finally, Marni, the USS Bataan, which is they lead the amphibious readiness group with 2,400 Marines, special operations Marines. They're now en route to the scene as well. So lots of U.S. firepower there by design to stand tall with Israel, but also to deter any other adversary there, and that could be read as Iran or others, from acting against Israel.
Few would dispute that Israel has to respond given the horrific atrocities that we saw a week ago on innocent civilians. But the complexity now comes with the humanitarian side of this. So many in Gaza who can't evacuate, and we can't get medical supplies in. Militarily, how is that handled when they try to go after a group like Hamas?
An extraordinarily difficult situation for the Gazan citizens, the Palestinians. By the way, they're innocents in all this. Whether or not they have ties, likely not, with Hamas. Unfortunately, they're stuck in the middle. Israel has done everything they possibly can to this point. They've dropped leaflets. They've communicated. They've really tried to motivate the Gazan civilians in and around Gaza City to evacuate as best they possibly can to the south. But it's very difficult, and I know that the Israeli Defense Forces, once the ground invasion begins, they'll be painstakingly being very careful to avoid as many civilian casualties as possible. But nonetheless, they've got a mission here, and the mission is to kill Hamas because they are brutal. They are, savages, and we saw that back on October 7th in the most recent video that you just showed. And so nonetheless, it's a tough place for Israeli Defense Forces. By the way, their military is in harm's way also because the density of Gaza City is like almost no other urban area in the world. It is chock-a-block full of apartments and homes and townhomes and so forth. It's very, very densely packed in there. They're going to have to go block by block. They're going to have to go apartment or building by building. They're going to have to go room by room and literally, into basements and so forth. They'll be booby-trapped. There'll be a very lethal situation for the Israeli Defense Force. All the while, they're going to try to, again, minimize civilian casualties, obviously, but they're also looking for those 200 hostages as well. And so it's an extraordinarily difficult task. Israel Defense Force is up to it, but again, it's going to be, this is not in terms of days, Marni, maybe not in terms of weeks. This is in terms of months, likely.
Right. I think back to a year and a half ago when you and I were talking after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and you said a war of attrition. This may be something similar. We've seen such horror already. President Biden may visit the region. Antony Blinken is there now. How significant would a visit by Biden be at this time?
It'd be very significant. We've had Secretary of Defense Austin. We've got Secretary Blinken there right now. By the way, President Biden canceled a trip to Colorado today, and he's going to stay near the White House, which gives me some indications that perhaps there could be a ground offensive kicked off. But nonetheless, it is significant that the United States, and I think the Biden administration has done a very good job showing our strong resolve in support of Israel. But let's climb up just a little bit. This is really not just against Israel. This is against democracy. This is against the West. This is against those nations that love freedom. Israel just happens to be on the very front lines right now. But the challenge we have in this, what I would call a new global disorder, is you've got terrorists like Hamas and Hezbollah. They target civilians, Marni. They're no longer just part of an urban warfare. They are targeted civilians, just like Russia has done in Ukraine back in February of last year. And so that's another, again, what I would call an axis of evil, if you will, of now putting civilians in the crosshairs as a target on the battlefield. Somebody's got to stand up to this, and somebody's got to go in and destroy Hamas, in my view, and Israel is poised to do that.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.